what up, baby? What's up? Listen, I wrote this book and I'm so excited. I can't even compose myself with the excitement, right? This is it. This is like, it feels the way I want it to feel. Okay, right. Okay. I don't even know if they could hear that one, but right. Let's see. Who no co-host access. What league am I in? Well, I ain't even talking about that. Listen, Taco, what's up, bro? I just wrote this book. This book is amazing. It is a book all about you. It's about you being the creator of your life. It's the journey of I am, right? It's a groundbreaking new self-help book backed by science that puts you as the conscious creator of the universe. And you are the creator. Author and speaker GOD reveals a transformative framework that bridges cutting-edge science with timeless wisdom. Inside, you'll discover why consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain, but the very spark of existence, how thought and desire act as the twin forces behind every act of creation, the hidden patterns in nature and geometry that prove you are wired to create, a step-by-step path to breaking free from limiting identities and reclaim your power, how to design a life that reflects who you really are. This isn't just another mindset book. It's a new map of reality and a practical strategy for awakening the creator within. Science describes the universe. This book shows you how to create yours. How to reclaim your power, redefine your identity, and design a life that reflects who you truly are. How to reclaim your power, redefine your identity, and design a life that reflects who you truly are. All right. Oh my goodness. What's up? What's going on, Rocket Man? I just got the hard copy. I mean, the copy's back. All right. The books are in. I'm super excited. It feels good to have it in my hand, to feel it. It feels amazing, man. The book it's a self-help personal development book. I've gotten some great feedback, some editorial reviews. If you're a fan of books such as Wayne Dyer, or authors such as like Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor, if you've ever heard of the hero's journey, there's a creator journey inside the book. It comes along with just so much information, but it's all about you. It's all about you and your I am. Let's write chapter 3, I am, the declaration of power. You don't feel like yourself because you haven't been. Maybe not since you were a child. What you have been is everything someone else told you to be. Everything you thought you had to be to survive. Everything but you. And it's been a lot. The pain, the pressure, the pretending. Almost every time you said I am, it's been a reaction, a response, an echo of someone else's expectations. As we uncovered earlier, your identity began to unravel the moment you started questioning it. Why? Because it didn't feel real. Before it was chosen, it was inherited, imposed, performed. Most of who you've been was built out of fear and survival, shaped by childhood trauma, social conditioning, and the need to be safe. But the moment you ask, who am I? That's the beginning. That's not an identity crisis. That's creation calling you home. Just like in the beginning, when space was vast, silent, and alone, something stirred. Before there were galaxies, there was possibility. Before there was form, there was awareness. And when space turned inward and asked, am I? That question sparked a process. That spark became polarity, desire, and thought. From polarity came light, and from light, creation. You are going through the same process. When you let go of your old story, when you realize you are not your resume, your role, or your reputation, you become something powerful. A clean slate, an empty canvas, a pure field of awareness. The moment when you say I am is light itself. Not I am this or I am that. Just I am. I exist, I'm here, I can be. And from here, you can try, you can choose, you can create, you can begin again. At the core of everything human is this one truth. We are all I am. We don't all share the same race, the gender, abilities, beliefs, or life experiences, but we all carry the same root awareness. I exist, I experience, I am. It's what connects us all. Not roles, not titles, not opinions, just presence. That was the moment that changed everything for me. After years of studying personal development and self-help, after years of trying to become a motivational speaker, after reading all the books and doing all the affirmations, I was still missing something. I still didn't know the true power of I am. I hadn't really claimed it. I was still hoping and still trying. And then I discovered the teachings of Wayne Dyer. He spoke about the ancient passage in the book of Exodus, When Moses asked the burning bush, "What should I say sent me?" And the answer was, "I am that I am." That hit me like lightning. It wasn't a name, it was a declaration, a cosmic truth. It was a saying, I am existence itself. I am what I choose to be. I am the author of my identity. That was the missing piece. Not just doing, not just striving, but choosing consciously, being, living as, choosing to say I am with authority, with intention, with power. That's when everything shifts. Because once you realize that you're the one choosing your I am, you stop waiting to be rescued. You stop performing for acceptance. You stop shrinking into the shadows of who you used to be. You claim the pen, you write the truth, you say, I am the author now. The journey of becoming begins and continues within. Just as space, as the only thing in existence, could not wait for any external motivations or support, and it could never expect to receive external validation or motivation, so do you, just as space had to become definite of its ability to be more internally, to be secure in its desire to express itself as more internally. You too must have the internal fortitude to do the same. Space had to be satisfied that what it thought it could be was worthy of being, and self-determined enough to give it everything it had inside, to know itself as more than it had ever been before, to become all that it knew and truly desired to be. So you must too go on that journey first internally. Give yourself full authority within your own existence to be the final authority on the meaning of your own existence. No longer looking outside of yourself for answers, confirmation, validation, or support. Instead, creating the existence that you want to experience based on what you consider possible for yourself and what you desire to know yourself as. So let this be your moment. Strip away the layers, let go of the false identities, feel the blank space opening in front of you, and speak from the silence. I am. Journal prompt. What identity have you been performing that you're ready to release? What would it look like to say I am from a place of truth, not fear? Creator's path. So in the book, we have Creator's path, which is basically, if you ever heard of the hero's journey, it's like a 12-step kind of process. So I've outlined the creator's journey, in which like we look at the hero's journey from the first person perspective. We watch somebody go on a journey. The creator is the one who actually goes on the journey. And so the creator path is just kind of tracks you where you are. And so for chapter 3, right, it's from the shadow dweller to the refiner. And all of this stuff is like outlined. Like there's a whole, I'll come back to that. There's a whole, like, just a couple like references of the comparison between the creator archetypes and then the hero archetypes, right? And just like telling you about that journey that you own for yourself. And then, yeah, so for Creative Path, chapter 3, it's you are transmuting. This chapter brings you to the fire, not to harm you, but to help you see what's true. The refiner is heat and patience. It separates what is you from what is not you. Fear, shame, and guilt are not verdicts. They are untrained energy waiting for instruction. The shadow dweller in you has learned to look without running. You can hold your gaze and keep your breath. You are not broken. You are becoming precise. You begin to name what once hid in the fog. You begin to breathe until the charge becomes clear. You begin to choose a new use for the same energy. This is the call to courage, the call to turn wounds into wisdom and reaction into response, the call to stand in the flame until only the truth remains. It is the call to become whole. Affirmation. I am not who I was. I am who I choose to be. Reflection questions. What I am statements have you unknowingly lived by? Which ones are you now ready to replace with intention? What identity feels aligned with the version you're becoming? I am activation. I am sovereign in my becoming. I am the source of my identity. I am choosing what I will now be. Thank you for the love, Elaine. I really appreciate it. Chapter 4. Thank you for rocking out with me, right? I appreciate you. Chapter 4. The science of I am. How creation happens through you. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Let's slow this down for a second, because you might be hearing all this talk about identity and becoming, yet you still feel stuck in the same spot, wondering why it hasn't clicked. You've been affirming, you've been visualizing, you've been trying, and maybe you've been starting to wonder, why hasn't it shown up yet? The truth, you're not broken, you're just early in the process. You're not out of alignment, you're defining what alignment even means. This chapter isn't about hype, it's about mechanics. It's about showing you the system that governs how your inner world shapes your outer world, how identity creates reality, how resonance produces results. Because manifestation isn't magic, it's law. And it all starts with understanding the power of I am. You always exist across three creative dimensions. The crowning realm, which is the field of infinite possibilities and infinite desires. Everything that could be lives here, including passions, dreams, and ideas that haven't taken form yet. Spiritual realm, it's the realm of identity. This is the internal space of I am, where possibility becomes form, desire, and conscious intent. And then the physical realm, the realm of experience. This is where resonance of thought and desire become matter, time, and circumstance through deafening. Creation flows downward, but change flows upward. You affect the physical by mastering the spiritual. You influence the spiritual by interacting with the quantum. It's the loop of awareness, choice, and energy. So where do you begin? With identity. Before you become, you must choose who you are. You don't get to I am that until you first become definite about who you are. Every outcome you manifest is magnetized by the resonance between what you think and what you desire. These are the two forces. Thought is electric, desire is magnetic. Together, they produce resonance like two wires meeting to generate light. The connection is your attention. You get easily discouraged, distracted, or depressed because you don't understand your power, and the resonance is lost, disconnected from the experience. You're not failing because you're weak. You're struggling because no one ever showed you how identity creates experience. You can't attract what you're not definite about. You can't embody what you don't claim. You can't live what you still question. You can't pay attention to what's not possible. So before you move into the outer world of manifestation, we need to solidify the inner world of identity. Before you manifest a new experience, you must embody a new identity. This doesn't begin with changing your circumstances. It starts with changing your self-perception. This is where most people misunderstand I am. They think they're about claiming something external. But I am is not a wish. It's a command. It's a declaration of identity that precedes experience. The woman who affirms I am beautiful doesn't wait for compliments to believe it. She dresses like it's true. She moves like it's embodied. The man who says I am disciplined doesn't wait to feel motivated. He chooses the gym, the regimen, in the structure because he already claimed his identity. Your internal personification becomes the mode through which reality flows. It's not about performance, it's about permission. You're giving your consciousness permission to operate from the version of you that already exists, even before the evidence shows up. This is the difference between I hope I am and I am. And that choice, that's your power. The quadrants of creation. Here's the foundational map that you will locate yourself at any moment and move with intention toward your desired state. Two spectrums cross to form four quadrants. From finite to infinite possibility, representing thought on the x-axis. From absence of desire to absolute desire, representing desire on the y-axis. This creates four quadrants. The fear quadrant, finite possibility, absence of desire, which is survival mode, feeling stuck, unworthy, you can't see any options. Second is the force quadrant, which is finite possibility and absolute desire. This is hustle culture, desperation, attachment to outcomes, control. Third is the flow, allow quadrant, which is infinite possibility and absence of desire. It's drifting, peaceful but passive, aware but uncommitted, indecisive. Four is freedom, aligned, infinite possibility and infinite desire. This is creative mode, right? This is where you take aligned action, embodied identity, power without pressure. Your goal is not to escape the system. It's about mastering your position within it to recognize where you are and shift toward resonance, where you want to be. This framework will occur repeatedly in mindset, purpose, and passion. It is the energetic blueprint of your journey, the science of resonance. When thought and desire meet at the same frequency, they produce I am. This is not in the book, right? But I'm about to say, your I am, when what you think about yourself and what you feel about yourself are aligned, that is your I am. If you can say I am right now, and whatever it be, like I am happy, that is the manifestation of the thought and desire, the thought and emotional perception of yourself. If you can be the final authority of that and focus on the I am that you want to be, you are the creator of your life. That's what this whole book is about. It's about teaching you how to focus your thoughts on you and your desires of you on what you want it to be, not on anything else. I am. If you can control your thoughts and emotions about yourself in any given moment in existence, you become co-creator of your life. And when the resonance is consistent, when it's sustained with emotional energy and inner knowing, it generates the conditions for I am that. When you can stay in that I am moment, right? Like where I wrote this book and it was like, yo, I am an author. I am an author. I am an author. Every time that I sat down and I was able to convince myself I could write one more page, I could do one more thing. And now the manifested journey is I am that. I am that I am, right? Like I am that. I am off. I got the book in my hand. It came from the consistency of staying in that I am. This is why affirmations only work when they are felt. This is why vision boards only without commitment feel empty. And this is why action without identity burns out. Your job is not to force results. Your job is to maintain resonance. That's the science of becoming. That's the law of creation. Let's look at it let's look at a practical example. Imagine you are in the spiritual realm in the level of identity and you're reaching for a new I am. That identity exists as a form possibility, but it hasn't yet entered the physical world. Now picture the quadrants of creation, right? So this would be finite, possibility, infinite, absence of desire, absolute. So this is sphere, force, flow, freedom. So as an I am, you are creating from one of these quadrants, either the fear quadrant, the force, the flow, the freedom. You're trying to move up until you're trying to manifest an I am experience, right? It's a possibility. That identity exists as a form of possibility, but it hasn't yet entered the physical manifested world. Now picture the quadrants of creation. You're at the intersection right above the finite possibility, moving toward infinite possibility, right? So all of the stuff that you want is over here. You've awakened to the vision beyond your old limits. You desire more. The desire now begins pulling the quantum realm into a specific possibility. But it doesn't pull through thought alone. It pulls through when your thought and desire resonate. You say, I am powerful. I am ready. I am enough. So, right, if you're still with me, as an I am, you're spiritual, your thoughts and your internal thoughts and thinking, like your subconscious. Before you go have an I am that manifested experiences, you have to internally become powerful. You say, I am powerful. I am ready. I am enough. I am an author. I am that, right? But only when those statements carry an emotional charge and only when they align with what you actually believe, feel, and expect do they begin generating electromagnetic resonance. So everything, the physical world is up here. So you want to have I am that experiences. You have to, like the desire to be that and the thought has to be that, has to be definite. That resonance at the same frequency. They're in the book, right? We go through this. But M and I, your I and your M is the thought and desire of yourself. You have to focus your thought and desire on that particular state of being that I am. So, right? But only when those statements carry an emotional charge and only when they align with what you believe, feel, and expect do they begin generating electromagnetic resonance. The resonance is what magnetically draws the experience into the physical realm. Without the resonance, the I am remains unmanifested, a ghost of possibility. But with consistent resonance, it becomes reality. Look outside, the world is in front of your doors. No, but it's inside of you as well. All of it, right? The same way that space, after being still, infinite, and asleep, initially chose to express itself and become everything through declaration, it experienced all that it was because it was definite as I am. In one moment, one act of consciousness, the first act of consciousness itself, space moved from simply being space to choosing to be everything in the known and unknown universe. And in that moment, it didn't question or hope or wait for permission. It spoke itself into expression. That is your power too. The power of now. Presence is the portal. I discovered this important lesson when reading Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, in which the author wonderfully illustrates that all there is in life is now. Creation doesn't happen in the past. Creation does not live in the future. Creation only ever happens now. Your I am is a present tense force. The past, that's just the trail of where your consciousness has been. The future, merely a projection of where your energy could go. But the power, the light, the creation, that's always been in the now. So let's bring it back. The journey is not just about awareness, about being present in awareness. Not who you used to be, not who you hope to become, but who you are right now. Become aware now. Choose now. If you stop making the lifestyle feeling dreams, if you stop making the lifestyle dreams goals. Yeah, but so it's about your I am, right? If you're saying that, if you focus on just your I am, right? Become aware now, choose now, act now. Not on the focus on the external things, but on you. In every moment of your life, this cycle repeats. And each time it invites you back to the same truth. You are not becoming later, you are becoming now. This is the creative breath of the universe, the same one that space took when it first asked, am I? And then it exhaled in declaration, I am. In that example, space became everything, not over time, but all at once. That's how creation works. And that's the same creative power lives in you. The breath of awareness, the inhale of possibility, the exhale of I am. That is your present power. And it is only through being present with yourself, with your thoughts, with your desires, with your chosen identity, that you align with the force of creation itself. So be here, be now, and choose the I am you wish to become. Not out of fear or ego, but out of love, awareness, and freedom. I can change that joint too. So what do you do now? You choose. You become definite in your I am. You claim the thoughts and desires that align with the life you want to choose. You observe what quadrant you're creating in, and you shift with compassion. You recognize when your identity is vague, when your desire is diluted, and you return to the center. Not through force, but through alignment. Not through pressure, but through presence. Manifestation isn't magic. It's science, and you're officially a scientist. As we move forward, this is where we'll keep track of the science behind the journey of becoming, tracking resonance, quadrants of creation, and the laws that govern the universe and give rise to the I am experiences. No more journaling prompting. No more journal prompting. This is about doing the work. Affirmation. I am the resonance of thought and desire. I create through clarity. I become by choosing. Your ability to be present is important. In the back, memorize these, make them your go-to. You are resonating. Create a path from alchemist to ego. You are resonating. This chapter teaches you the physics of becoming. Thought is electric, desire is magnetic. Together they set frequency. The echo does not judge you, it measures you. It returns the shape of what you send, so you can refine the signal. The alchemist, in your experiments with honesty, you speak, act, and watch what comes back. You learn to respond rather than react. Calibration becomes your craft. You begin to notice how language steers outcomes. You begin to align breath, posture, and schedule with chosen identity. You begin to adjust until intention and expression ring the same note. This is the call to alignment, the call to listen as carefully as you broadcast, the call to create with clarity, feedback, and devotion to truth. It is the call to live as resonance. Reflection questions. What realm am I most aware of? Quantum, ideas, spiritual identity, or physical results? What quadrant of creation am I in right now? Where do I feel uncertain about who I am? Activation. I am the creator's most creative creation. You are the creator, right? This is this fucking book, man. I'm super excited, bro. It's here. It's available. Please feel free to cop up, man. I promise you, this book is going to change your life. It's about you. It's all about you and your I am. If you can focus on your I am, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. This just so happens to be what I wanted to do. I wanted to write a book. I want to speak, right? I want to do what I want to do. And nobody's going to give you permission to do it but you. It's just about your I am. You know how you want to do it. You know how you would do it if you could do it the way you want to do it. You just keep waiting for somebody else to come along and give you permission. I just did. It's in this book. You are the creator. This is it. How to reclaim your power. redefine your identity, and design the life that reflects who you truly are. That's it. We got like 12 quadrants of creation, 12 chapters. It's a journal prompt in every chapter. Thank you for the love, Ellen. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna make sure I follow you back. I see you've been tapping the screen, been rocking out with me. I appreciate you. Yeah, feel free to tune in. This is I'm excited. You feeling what I'm speaking out so far? You've been tapping the screen. I appreciate the love. Yeah, let me know if I can help you out in any way. I'm gonna try to change the settings for the yes. Well, thank you. You just made my day, right? It's for me and you, right? This is the resonance. I came here to share this with you. I just got the copies yesterday. I had to reformat them, so I had published a book on 9/16 on my mom's birthday, and I just made it the paperbacks. I didn't like the way they came out, so I had to reformat them. I just like made a bunch of changes. I had to go in and do some stuff, and I got it right. And it just like, you know how you have a vision of something. Like everybody has a vision. Like I've always wanted to be an author. I'm a 3-time author as well too. I wrote 2 other books, but those books weren't the books that I wanted to write. My first book was the book to kind of put an attempt out. Like, yo, I really want to become this when I get older or when I get bigger, right? And I did it. And I kind of rushed through it and did it just to say I did it. My second book was after becoming aware of what it means to write a book. And it was all on the external thing. It was, all right, I gotta have the right keywords. And it wasn't what I really wanted to do. And then this book, having known everything that I know. I writing the first book and doing it through passion and infusing all of the good messages in it, but not being formatted, not writing it structured, not knowing anything about actually writing the book. The second book, right, learning about marketing and how to, speak to a specific audience and using keywords and doing all these different things, and like putting too much focus on both of those things at that one time. And then this book is just a culmination of tying it all together. Like taking everything that I've been learning about becoming self-defined, right? I'm a kid from North Philly. I wrote my first book right after I flunked out of college. My parents were drug addicts up until I was 4. We went to NA meetings up until I was like 4 or 5 years old. I'm from North Philly. My first daughter was born my freshman year at college. I had 3 children by the time I was 22, 23. Me and my wife were married. I got the same baby mom, and we all together. We've been together since middle school, so I ain't gonna say it like that. We started our family early, but like by all standards, right? I shouldn't be here, and I am, and it's because I was self-defined. The first book was like, and everything happens in 3s. I'm telling you, I've never piped myself up, Ellen. I don't pipe myself up. I'm telling you, like, this is a good book. And I wrote my book the way I wanted to write a book when I first started off, and I started in the personal development, self-help space. I hated reading books that were just so detached. The story would be about like somebody, like you'll read a Lance Armstrong story, like he overcame cancer or they like did something crazy, and I'm like, bro, I'm just a regular dude trying to get my life together. I was like, why does this seem so extreme? And I just wanted to write a book that felt conversational and it felt like it was just between a regular person. And this is. The tone of this book is just real conversational. It's like I'm talking to you because I am. All right, this book is about you, all about you, and your I am. That's it. If you can say right now, I am. I'm thrilled and grateful for my life and everything it has to offer. I'm thrilled to be living my life exactly as I want to. If you are definite that this is who you are in this moment and who you truly want to be, then you don't need to read this book. If you can't say I am, and whatever follows be precisely whatever you want it to be, my question to you would be, why not? Why can't you right now in this moment think and feel that way about yourself? What reason do you have that is not related to some external circumstance or situation? Right now, as you read this, no one can hear your thoughts and feelings about yourself. So secretly, only you and I know that you even think that highly of yourself as a possibility. Yet something won't let you fully be that version of yourself right now. Let's try it. I am grateful. Can you allow yourself to be entirely and unconditionally grateful right now? Yes? Is that how you smile when you're grateful? Not smiling? Is that how you breathe, stand, or sit when you are grateful? If so, you are grateful, and that's great. Because from an appreciative place, you can do some great things if that's how you truly want to feel. If not, again, why not? The Abrahamic book Ecclesiastes can sound cynical at first, but its wisdom is fierce and simple. While you are alive, you are free to choose. Every moment carries the deeper reality that you can do what you desire in the full expression of how you believe it should be done. Kindly or angrily, drunkenly or soberly, bold or quiet, if that is what you truly choose. Freedom to be. In the end, we all return to beginning. Freedom to be is the freedom to be what you choose now, not what you've been told you must be. Do not live in the worry of what was, should be, or might never be. Live in what is. I am. This is what this book teaches and what it reminds you to remember. So often on this journey, we lose sight of what we're doing it for. The first time you are introduced to the identity of fulfillment, it feels like everything. Thank you so much. The first MI moment, that first spark of possibility, that glimpse that your private dream might be a lived reality, a sign that you may be the hero of your own story. Because we've seen others' heroes' journeys, we think the point is the reward. Fame, abundance, wisdom. We attach the vision to the ending. But the beginning is a spark, not a spotlight. You must be able to dream of something that you've never seen. Something so far outside your current life that you're willing to leave the world you knew to be coming. The journey is not about success. The journey is about who you become. It's about your I am. I learned this the hard way, just as the creator source did. Because all growth starts in darkness. In this book, I will share with you my deepest losses of losing both my parents in less than a year and a half, the devastation and toll of unfulfilled promises to the parents who gave me the space to be anything I wanted to be, how those tragedies pushed me to newer heights, only to be drugged down to even lower depths upon losing my brother suddenly 3 years later. Tragedy, death, defeat, failure, disappointment, setbacks, misalignments. We believe that not getting it right is a human trait, but is also ingrained in the process of growth and development. It is through suffering, it is through despair that you began to question yourself at all. When you start to question yourself, only one person is going to answer, and that is a version of you. The person you became after making it through whatever sparked the question. Whether or not you like the person is determined by what you think and feel about yourself while living through it all. You will experience darkness. If you're holding this book, you are ready to use it. The tests and trials are not punishments. They are the resistance that strengthen you until the knowing becomes your living. Heroes and villains are often born from the same fire. The difference is choice. Will your suffering push you to become a solution, or will it harden you into spreading more of what hurt you? Perspective and choice make the path. Here is the promise. By the end of this book, you will know how to claim your I am, align your thought and desire, and live in the real world with consistency. You will have words you can say, practices you can do, and a structure you can return to when life leans on you. You will stop waiting for permission and start acting like the person you choose to be. Underneath everything, you will learn a simple law. When thought and desire meet at the same frequency, identity becomes experience. That is resonance. It is why affirmations only work when they are felt. This is why vision boards often feel empty without commitment. It is why action without identity burns out. Your job is not to force results. Your job is to maintain resonance. You will see how this creation moves in you the same way it moved in the beginning. MI awakens awareness. I am declares identity. I am that expresses identity through action and relationships. I am that I am is a state of creator consciousness. Then the cycle begins, and then again at a higher turn. Awareness, choice, action. Over and over until the world catches up to who you decided to be. To guide you, this book gives you the map. The creative journey. You will travel from MI to I am that to I am that I am. At each turn, you will use a simple internal engine. Aware, claim, choose, act. The archetypes. Along the way, you will meet energies that test or support you. The denier delays, the mirror reflects, the refiner purifies, the echo tempts you back into performance, The flame reminds you that you are the source. These are not labels to wear, they are signals to notice so you can move with wisdom. The quadrants of creation. Two spectrums cross to show you where you are. Finite to infinite possibilities, absence or fullness of desire. Fear, force, flow, freedom. You will learn how to shift your state instead of shaming it. The 3M framework. Mindset, marketing your passion, manifest your purpose. You will master your mind so fear without danger becomes data. You will channel passion into service so your gifts have a place to land. You will align identity with action so your purpose shows up in your calendar. How to use this book. Read it straight through or start with the prologue and proceed to chapter 1. And then move into the practices at the end of each chapter. Every chapter follows a steady rhythm so you'll never get lost. You will see short reflections, a teaching, a where, choose, act guidance, and concrete prompts and affirmations to keep you honest and moving. A word about me so you know where I speak from. I have fallen flat. I have claimed my I am, and I have been humble. I have buried people I love. I have been tempted to shrink, to perform, to wait. I am here because I choose to be. By statistics and every other standard, I should not be. I am because I said I am. That is the power the Creator gave us all by leaving space to become. If you need permission, this book is proof that the contents within work definitely. If you are reading this book, it's because I did exactly what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's control my I am. If you need permission, please take this as yours. If you need proof, use this book as a mirror. If you need a structure, use the frameworks. If you need a voice in your corner, let me remind you of what you already know. Live in what is. I am. Say it, think it, act like it's true. Choose an identity before you have evidence, then give the world evidence it needs to agree. Speak your I am out loud. Write it where you will see it. Keep small promises that match it. When fear shows up without danger, breathe, soften, say your I am, then move. When you drift, return to presence. When you clench, release the grip. When you forget, begin again. You are not just a creation moving through a creation. You are a creator. You give name, shape, form, and meaning to what is around you, including yourself. The moment you remember that the journey becomes what it truly is, a journey of creation, a journey of becoming perfect in its unfolding, childlike in its wonder. If you can become definite in your I am, if you can stand sure in the possibilities that you know are true, you can manifest experiences of your own definition. You are the creator, baby. You are the creator. You are. All right? Yes. So if you don't already, please feel free to follow me. I'll be just reading parts of the book. Feel free to get copies of the book as well. I don't know if TikTok lets me add the ebook copy, but I'm trying to add an ebook version for guys to get for cheaper, probably like $5. I wish I could just make it free, guys. I'm telling y'all. If I didn't have to charge you guys, I would just give it free. But we live in an economy that needs money. I got kids in college, son's a senior, goes to private school. So support a young Black author, and buy a book that is going to change your life. I'm telling you, money back guaranteed. If it don't do what I'm saying, if you don't think differently about your I am, if you don't feel differently about yourself after reading this, let me know, because it's here, bro. Like, this is crazy. It's me. It's all me right here. Actually, AI had to, if it was up to me, this joint would be like 500 pages. Which y'all, all I had AI do was I was like, all right, bro, I can't run it that long. But this is all me right here. All me. It's hilarious. Y'all understand, bro. I'm really just a regular, dude from North. But I got these books. This is my other book, too. So this is my other book, right? This is my second book. I wrote this book in 2022, 2021. 2022, when I released this book. So this is my second book. This was just a part of that process. I wrote this book specifically for first-generation college students. I went to a private Catholic university. I did not graduate, and because of that, I got really into just the first generation experience, figured out that 90%, 89% of low income first generation college students do not graduate. And I was like, oh shit, that's messed up. And I'm like, yo, from my own experience, I've been looking back what I took from it. A lot of us have the wrong mindset when it comes to school. So we go to like, these special admission school. I grew up in North Philly. I was around my parents and my siblings. Because I showed like slight curiosity. They was like, oh, you smart. I went to a special mission school. So I started thinking I was really smart. So I stopped trying to do the work, right? And that's like really fixed mindset based. And that's why I didn't do good in college. It's not that I wasn't intelligent. I just didn't know how to do work. I went to a poor public school system that didn't require much to get by. Like I was on honor roll and we didn't go to class. We just did, like we went to the gym more than we went to class. We knew the work, but you in a class with 30 kids, you can't. I imagine trying to like control 30 kids. You can't. You're gonna be on a subject for 30 days that take one day to teach. So the kids that got it on the first day, I came to class some days, I got it, and then I just stopped going because I knew they was gonna be on that shit for like 2 weeks. So all right, I ain't go to class. You can't do that in certain schools. Well, I say all that to say, I learned about mindset, so I wrote my second book about mindset, and but it was more for the audiences, right? Like it was more for the first generation college students. They don't buy books for themselves per se. The administrators were the target audience, right? And so I wrote the book more so for the administrators than I did for the students. So there are parts of the book that were, it's really just speaking to the students. It was just trying to encourage them about what, like, just that first person relationship. Because I felt like that as well, like first generation college students. I didn't even know that first generation students don't graduate. I thought that like once you get to college, it was kind of high school. You would just, they gonna get you there and get you out. And that's how a lot of us think. So I'm like, bro, we just gotta tell them the truth. We gotta tell them, like, share our experiences 90%. So I wrote the book for that audience, but I was so worried about writing it for the academics, because if I write it for the students, they may not never get it, because the academics, the people that are their decision makers, aren't going to let me in. So this was like my second book, and I wrote this, and I was proud of it. But it wasn't. It didn't feel like what I wanted to do. This thing right here, this is it. Like even the feel of it, how it feels in my hand, like this is dope, right? You guys feel, I'm feeling the cover. I think this is nice. You are the creator. It's dope, and we got all types of each chapter comes with like just exercises to do. So affirmations, reflection questions, I am activation. Yep, this is my third book, technically, right? This is technically. The other two books I never promoted just because I wasn't proud of them. It wasn't something that I felt like I could stand behind. I wrote them more for me. This is my outside book, so this is my first one. So then the main chapters, they have just the actual step-by-steps, like aware, choose, act, and to tell you actually how to start really doing stuff. And I'm so serious, right? Like this book is meant to change your life, and it will if you give it the chance, right? So if you take what I'm saying, information, when new information is accepted as truth, there's an instantaneous transformation. If you accept my theory about space being the only thing in the whole process of MI as as truth, your life will be transformed. So the prologue, I can't read that to y'all because I need to go get ready. I got some stuff I gotta go do. But the prologue, if you guys tap back in with me, follow me, get notified when I go live, I'll be reading the prologue, and that's kind of the premise of the whole book. But the whole of it is space. The one thing that has to exist for anything to exist with the possibility of becoming aware of itself. Am I? And when it becomes aware, it becomes I am that. That's expression, right? That's how we all got here. Your creator is the space for everything to exist. I also have a cryonics theory, which I'm publishing at the same time. So all of this stuff is available. It's online. The cryonics theory is available online, but I'm putting it on my site as well. So that'll come as a free add-on. You can read that. If you're into science, this is a full published theory. There's some math behind it about how consciousness is the primary substrate of creation. So my whole theory with the cryonics is that self-preservation of a system is a form of consciousness. So that I've been able to scientifically prove that any system at the brink of its existence, through self-preservation and geometry, it creates a internal system to unfold. And we see the same system. Fibonacci, the spiral, the spin, is all based on the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm back. But yes, yeah, I got stuff to do. So, real fast, before he called me back. So, the whole theory is based off of this, right? So, you can see my board, right? Imagine the board as a space of existence. For anything to exist, it needs a space to exist. Within anything that exists is the potential to become aware. The potential to become aware is am I, right? That is the self-reflective question. This becomes I am through the process of spiraling out and becoming, right? So am I, when activated upon the brink of existence, remember I said self-reflection or self-preservation is the consciousness of existence. When this existence is at its brink, when it's pushed to the finest point, that self-preservation action is activated and it spirals up. That's MI, right? Right before it's crushed, spirals up. It becomes can I be? What would it be like? How would it feel, right? 3 questions. At that third question from feel, right? There's a separation between and I. So, am I the Holy Trinity that exists, made of duality, 2 things, right? Am I separated and split? This becomes am, the mother, the womb, desire. This becomes I, the father, right? Thought. These are also represented as electricity and magnetism, right? These 2 things entangled and spinning on the center axis, working against each other, right? It cause a spiral. So this will come here, and then it cause it to kind of come around until they reconvene here. And that's where the I am come from. So that's some of the science behind the book. Sorry about that. I keep getting a call. I got some stuff I got to do. Got some science behind the book. But the book is here, man. I'm so excited. You are the creator. They're here. Get some of that. Look, it's like handheld. I don't like the 6x9 books because you can't really hold them like that. You can't really hold them like that. You gotta fold them up. So I had to reformat. And this is it. Go get a book. Money back guarantee. Read the book. If you don't like it, if this book doesn't change your life, call me. I challenge you to read this book and to not be changed. I challenge you. I bet you can't read this book and think and feel differently about yourself after doing so. You're gonna have no choice. I promise you, if you read this book, you will think and feel differently about your entire life. I don't even pipe myself up like that, yo. This joint dope though. Look, right? In this joint. No, because y'all don't believe me. But this is somebody else's book. I know, I gotta give him, yeah, this is my man Mark Allen book. Shout out to my man Mark. I'm gonna go see him today. I got other ones. So right, we outline the creator archetype, journey archetypes. So we show you all that. If you aren't familiar with Joseph Campbell's work, Joseph Campbell, he laid out the hero's journey. So the hero, and then we got like matching, you know what I'm saying? So the hero's journey is about external stuff. The hero fights dragons and monsters and goes into a cave. The creator journey is about you and your I am. The hero is the creator who chose to take control of his own life. We all are creators. You become the hero when you become the conscious creator. You consciously choose by claiming and choosing your I am. I am that I am. I am an author. I am. See? I said it. It was me. I was like, I am an author. I can write a book. And I did. Look at it. Feels fucking amazing. Like a little kid. That's it. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. Appreciate y'all. Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to invite you up. I'm about to get off this joint. I appreciate y'all love and support. I'm telling you. Also, yo, now, if you on this joint, if you do have a TikTok affiliate, like if you have that set up, I'm looking for some affiliates. I'm offering free samples to affiliates. So if you do have that, if you're interested in trying to make some money and help me make some money, we can do that too. You get me? So if you got the affiliate, find me, find my shop. It's right there. I'll send you a free sample for the affiliates, right? Can't just be giving away the books. I got a few copies out there. But yeah, if you do, I'm currently looking for TikTok shop affiliates to help me promote this bestseller. All right. Let me know if you're interested. That way you get to read it and change your fucking life. But that's it. Love y'all, man. Have a good day.